Hey backpackers, this is Juan from Juan Backpacks. I'm here today with another first look. What are we looking at? Well, we're looking at the Nitecore NB10000 battery pack. Yeah, pretty sweet. Look at this thing. Sleek, carbon, it's the bomb. So, like all my first look videos, we're going to take a look at some of the specs that drew me to the piece of equipment. Not an all-inclusive thing. I'll put a link if you want to really dive into the detail of the specs of the product. So I'll do that, but I'm going to really talk about the things that drew me to the product. Then I'm going to talk about what niche, along with that, what niche I think it's going to fill in my kit and kind of why I brought it in. And then the last thing I'll talk about is any concerns I have about the piece of equipment moving forward and actually going to be using it in the field. So let's back up. First thing, form factor. I love equipment that has a really small form factor. Weight is obviously important to me too, but form factor is really important because I want things that are compact, that really fit well in my pack so that I don't have to have things everywhere and the pack all bulked out. So let's look at a comparison. This is actually a 13,000 AH battery as opposed to this 10,000. So it's a little bit unfair, but this is an Anker, and you can see here, difference in size, right? Big difference in thickness, difference in width. So you can see there's a big difference in the form factor between these two batteries and even like another 10,000 Anker battery. Definitely doesn't have the same small form factor. The other thing is the weight. I'm saving 3 ounces. This is about 5.2 ounces. The Nitecore is about 5.2 ounces on my scale, and this one is about 3 ounces heavier. So I'm saving about 3 ounces of my kit, so that also was a big attractor to me. The other things that really attracted me about this particular battery, was the lightness, as I said, and really it's made of carbon. And so you can see here, you can kind of see that carbon fiber look to it. And I think there are some other components that are carbon, in terms of the housing of the battery. And so that's how they got it so darn light. Let's take a look at some of the buttons and so forth and some of the inputs and outputs here. So you can see here it's a USB port right here. That is a out, and then there's USB-C. That's one of the reasons I changed over to this battery pack, because I have a new iPhone and they have told me that it's better to charge using USB-C. And so this does have an input and output. As a matter of fact, the only way you can charge this battery is through the USB-C. So it'll go charge in, but it also charge going out, charge other devices and so forth. You can actually then use both these ports at the same time. So for example, I could charge my iPhone on the USB-C and then use the USB port to charge my InReach Mini, or charge my my watch, my Garmin watch as well. And so I can charge 2 things at the same time off of this battery, which I really do like. The indicator on the battery is fairly simple. It's a little hard to see, but when I press this button right here, if it's fully charged, there'll be 3 bars, 3 blue bars. And if it needs charging, apparently when it's down to 1 bar, the 1 bar will start blinking when it's starting to run low on on energy, and that's when it's time to recharge the battery. If you hold it down, it also has a low current mode for slower charging of things like earbuds, earbuds, and I think some smartwatches do better if you charge them slower. So you can literally hold down on this indicator and there'll be a white light, I think in about 3 seconds or so. Hey, it didn't do it. Oh, there we go. I can see the white now. Oh, I shut it off. Oh, there it is. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, I think you can. There's some blue there, but then there's some white as well. And so the white light's there. And if I want to turn off the low current charging, I just hold it down. I'm looking at this and the white light has gone off. and so we're down to the blue bars again. Eventually those blue bars will like shut off. They're not going to be on the whole time the battery's working. So you can just hit it once again, and then you can see what your charge is like on the battery. I just really like this thing. Again, it's convenient because of the ports and because of the way it can do charging. You know, it can go both ways on the USB-C. I think that's a big thing for me, and also the ability to see the indicator as well, and the fact that the indicator is turned off when it's, you know, in use, but at the same time, there you go, it just went off. Nice. So I like that a lot about this battery pack. The thing that actually concerns me a little bit about it is the durability of it. I've seen some other reviews and folks talk about durability of this battery. I haven't really, you know, obviously haven't really used it in the field yet. I'm going to take this battery on the High Sierra Trail with me. We'll be doing that probably 8-day hike, you know, ending on Mount Whitney, and it should get a good workout at that time, and we'll see how it does. The other thing that I have concern with all batteries is water. And so, you know, what happens if it gets exposed to water? And looking at the specs, I can see that it actually is rated so that if it was in rain, it could, you know, it's kind of water resistant. And so it could withstand some rain. And so that, I guess, is to be determined, right? But that's another thing that kind of drew me to this battery pack, because it seemed like it had a good rating in terms of exposure to water, at least in rain, not dunking it, but at least in rain. So that is my initial impressions. You know, first look at the Nitecore NB10000, and I will come back to you again once I use it on the High Sierra Trail, which will be only about 2 weeks from now. I'm leaving, and so by another 4 weeks, I'll be back with a full review of my use of this on the trail and let you know how it did. So until next time, get out there, do some backpacking, do some hiking, get off YouTube and stop watching all these videos, except for mine, the next time one comes out. So I'll see you on my next video.